shadow, shadow. But you were bright white gold. They made us lose our focus. The very same hands that formed us. Go build a better tomorrow. For you I'd make it a rainbow. I think I will be holding on to the one thing that I know is stronger. Love is blind and no one's perfect. Platinum seems so shallow, 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 shallow. But you are bright white gold. With you by my side I'm not worried. I think we'll be able to find ourselves again. Blank expressions, empty words. Nothing can keep me away from you. I think I will be holding on to the one thing that I know is stronger. Love is blind and no one told us. Platinum seems so shallow, 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 shallow. But you were bright white gold.
What more can I possibly say about a perfect family such as mine? I'm totally kidding. Far from the word perfect. The very first people from my family to come to Willows were these awesome people. My great-great-grandfather William Julius Storrs was born on a ship coming from Prussia in the 1860s, just a few days before they landed in New York. The family moved to Wisconsin and then eventually Oklahoma. William met and married his wife Amelia, and by the time they made it to Oklahoma, they already had a few children. But my great-grandfather Herman Bertram Storrs was born on October 3rd, 1906 in El Reno, Oklahoma. The family then moved to Willows following my great-grandfather's birth to pursue a better life in the agriculture business. When Herman was a boy, he was heavily involved in playing music. As a little boy, he played the cornet in the high school band at the age of 12 in 1918. If you ever happen to visit the Willows Museum, you can actually see the cornet he played. That was handed down to my father while he was in the band before it was donated to the Willows Museum. Herman Storrs only made it to the 8th grade and had to drop out due to taking care of the family and doing farm chores. The timber for the barn on the Storrs Ranch was floated up the Sacramento River to the Bayless area. It was built extra strong since the Storrs family was all too familiar with the tornadoes in Oklahoma. Unfortunately, it was the barn that burnt down when it turned 100 years old in 2011. Herman Storrs eventually met and married my great-grandmother Genevieve Storrs on June 14, 1930. Just by looking at these photos, you could see the amount of commitment and love they had for one another. They would have 3 children, Fred Storrs, Darlene Storrs, and my grandpa Dan Storrs, who was the baby of the family. Both my grandpa and my dad have such good memories of my great-grandpa Herman. He may have had only an 8th grade education, but he was a very smart man. He did crossword puzzles, he baked beer bread, zucchini bread, and chocolate chip cookies. Since he was quite poor growing up, the family was taught to eat every part of the animals possible to survive. My dad had a pretty funny moment he shared with me recently. He remembers seeing Herman eating breakfast and noticed there was something on the plate that he didn't recognize as breakfast food. So he asked him, "Grandpa, what is that on your plate?" To which Herman replied, "Cow brains and running eggs with toast." He was also seen a lot with his best friend Warren Larrabee. My dad was constantly told that when they butchered the pigs, they threw nothing away but the squeal in true Willows fashion. The oldest store's patriarch is Fred Stores, who is my great-uncle. He is a very interesting man who I love dearly, and I wouldn't change him for all the money in the world. He is probably the most like his parents in terms of a sense of humor, commitment, and work ethic. He is still married to his true love, Yvonne Stores, and has been for 63 years so far. He's gonna regret doing that later. I'll remember that.
Alright, George, what do you think, bro?
He's like, don't ask my opinion.
Come on, George, help me out, brother. You're supposed to be my friend. So I'm just not feeling the love. What the hell?
Whenever you say my friend, it reminds me of when Nate was in the tunnel and you were like,
yes.
He was like, are you shutting the door on me? And you're like,
Sawyer! I would screw you like that. You're my friend.
no, you're my friend.
I would be acting my friend. I'll do to you.
The office at this point is almost finished. All we need to do now is finish the plumbing, put the bathroom and kitchenette appliances in, new floor, and office equipment. A temporary volunteer helped out for 2 weekends and did some awesome work in many different categories, including safety procedures.
Oh, here, put the ball back up.
We also need to lock or nail the other one shut.
Yeah, you do. What's this new shit? Yeah, I'm like the leader.
This is the leader right here.
Clearly, I, you, me.
It looks like somebody's home.
Somebody's here.
Sometimes we just have too much fun. We eventually did get the lights to work. After that, we had to go upstairs to secure one of the pipes above the office. The upstairs mainly contains entry to the roof over the snack bar, a couple of storage closets, the projection room, a bathroom, and a couple more rooms we aren't sure what they were used for. The world just stops for a few seconds when you think of how many people over 70 years walked on those same floors. The next weekend was a big project. We had to safely remove the old air conditioning unit from the maintenance room to start demolition and put a roof on it. It will be used as a storage room for our tools during demolition and building the rest of the theater. As you can tell, there was a lot of preparing before each unit was pulled off.
You left me running on and on, but I don't care, would you let me in? You said goodbye like everything's gone, everything that we could have been. But I know you're my liability. Yeah, I know you're my
You say that you're sorry. We turn the page and make up.
We had one last thing to grab before we were done. The heart that made the beast run, but not without a few hiccups. Yet we were able to eventually pull the old engine out that was bolted to the floor and get it out through the roof.
You said goodbye like everything's gone, everything that we could have been.
but
I know you are my liability.
yeah,
I know you are my liability.
The front of the office was given accent paint on the trims and the door was put back on and painted, and a window would eventually be put into the door. On the inside, the crown molding was put in and painted.
oh, what a hopeless case we could be. Yeah, oh, what a hopeless place that we're in.
But I'm your liability. I know you are my liability.
Yeah,
I know you are my liability.
oh, what a hopeless case we could be. Yeah, oh, what a hopeless place that we're in.
But I'm your liability.
The outside exterior over the office would be pressure washed and then painted the same color green. We had one weekend where we were absolutely thrilled and thankful to have the Rainbow Girls come out to paint the maintenance building in about an hour.
Willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thinker, but I'm just a singer. All messy and pretty, just making believe. Boy, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Down to obscurity, don't let me ever be this alone. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. Control, you don't know me. I'm a danger to myself. Control, you don't know.
They also super cleaned the office floor. We definitely thank you, Rainbow Girls, and your families.
Boy, you look worried, and maybe you should be. 'Cause this is a warning that I'm throwing out. 'Cause I'm the worst player that ever will play you to mix up sweet words. I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. I know you don't know me. I'm a danger to myself. I know you don't know.
We started the demolition of the maintenance room's roof, as well as remove as much of the old air conditioner as possible. Remove the tin walls and remove all the old electrical components of the air conditioning unit. We also had to pay super close attention to the weather forecast because we wanted to get the roof on before the first rain. I want to mention that even though we're laughing and making jokes, this is our only source of remaining sane.
Fall down, it'll be okay. I'm gonna swing around in my basket. I figure swinging. Peace.
As time goes on, we find more and more emergency things that need to be fixed before we continue on with our game plan. Money and help are our biggest issues here, and they will become Willows' biggest issue if we don't get help.
First, John.
The first step in fixing a problem is realizing there is one.